My name is James. I am 38 years old. I work as a civil engineer in a mid-sized company in the city. My job is not glamorous, but it is stable. I design roads and bridges. I spend most of my days looking at plans and numbers. It is quiet, careful work. I like it. I have been married for 6 years. My wife's name is Clara. She is 35 years old. She is a secondary school teacher. She teaches mathematics to teenagers. When she comes home in the evening, she always has small stories about her students. A funny answer on a test. A quiet boy who suddenly spoke up in class. I always listened. I loved those stories. We live in a comfortable apartment near the city center. It is not large, but it feels like home. Clara keeps it neat. There are plants near the window. There are books on every shelf. On weekends, we cook together. We take long walks in the park. We watch films in the evening with a blanket over our legs. Life felt simple. Life felt good. I did not think much about problems. I thought problems were for other people, other marriages, other lives. I was wrong. It started on a Tuesday evening in November. I remember because the weather had just turned cold. I came home a little earlier than usual. My last meeting was canceled. I was happy about that. I wanted to surprise Clara with dinner. I bought pasta and fresh vegetables from the market near the office. When I opened the door, I heard Clara's voice. She was in the kitchen. She was speaking quietly, almost in a whisper. I thought she was on the phone. I set the grocery bags down gently, trying not to make noise. I did not want to interrupt her. Then I heard her say something that stopped me completely.
He cannot know. Not yet. Please, just give me more time.
I stood very still in the hallway. My coat was still on. The grocery bags were at my feet. I could hear my own heartbeat. A few seconds later, Clara walked out of the kitchen and saw me. Her face changed immediately. The color left her cheeks. "James?" she said. "I did not hear you come in." "Who were you talking to?" I asked. She paused. Just 1 second. But I noticed it. "Just a colleague," she said. "About a school project." She smiled. She took the grocery bags from me. She kissed my cheek. She began talking about her day. I listened. I nodded. But something inside me had shifted. Something small. Something quiet. Like a crack in glass that you can barely see. But once you notice it, you cannot stop looking at it.
In the days that followed, I watched Clara more carefully. Not in an angry way. I was not angry yet. I was confused. I was curious. I told myself I was imagining things, that I had misheard, that the words meant nothing. But then I began to notice small things. Clara had always left her phone on the kitchen counter when we were at home. It was a habit. I never thought about it. But now, her phone was always with her, in her pocket, in her hand, face down on the table. One evening, her phone buzzed while she was in the shower. I looked at the screen. The name said only N. Just one letter. No full name, no surname. I did not open the message, but I did not forget it either.
Another evening, I came home and found Clara quickly closing her laptop. She said she was watching a film, but the screen had gone dark too fast, like she had shut it, not paused it. I asked her what she was watching. She named a film. I asked her what it was about. She described it well, perfectly even, but something in her eyes was careful, like she was reciting from memory, not remembering from experience. I began to sleep less. I lay in the dark next to her and listened to her breathe. She slept quietly, calmly. Whatever she was carrying, it did not seem to trouble her at night. That, somehow, made it worse. One Saturday, Clara said she needed to go to the pharmacy. She was gone for almost 2 hours. A pharmacy 2 streets away. 2 hours. When she came back, she had a small bag from the pharmacy. She seemed normal. She made tea. She asked about my day. I said nothing. I smiled. I drank my tea. Inside, I was falling. 3 weeks after that first evening in the hallway, I found out who N was. It was a Sunday. Clara had gone to visit her mother for the day. I stayed home. I told her I needed to catch up on some work reports. That was true, but I also wanted to be alone in the apartment. I needed to think. I was sitting at my desk when I heard a knock at the door. I was not expecting anyone. I opened the door. A man was standing there. He was perhaps 40 years old, medium height, dark hair, slightly gray at the sides. He wore a plain jacket and carried a small envelope in his hand. He looked at me with an expression I could not read immediately. Not guilty, not cold. Something in between. "Is Clara here?" he asked. "No," I said. "She is not home. Can I help you?" He hesitated. Then he said, "My name is Noel. I am an old friend of Clara's." Noel. N. I felt the blood leave my face. I kept my expression calm. I am not sure how. "I see," I said. "She has not mentioned you." Something moved behind his eyes. Surprise, maybe? Or discomfort? "I am not surprised," he said quietly. "What I need to give her is important. Can I leave this with you?" He held out the envelope. I took it. My hand was steady. I do not know how. "Of course," I said. He nodded. He looked at me for a moment longer than necessary. Then he left. I closed the door. I stood in the hallway. The envelope was in my hand. It was sealed. I held it for a long time. I did not open it. It was not mine to open. But I also could not put it down. I placed it on the kitchen table, and I waited for Clara to come home. Clara came home at 6 in the evening. She was in a good mood. She had brought cake from her mother's house. She set it on the table. Then she saw the envelope. She stopped. All the color left her face. She looked at the envelope. Then she looked at me. "A man named Noel brought it," I said. My voice was very quiet. "He said he was an old friend." Clara sat down slowly. She did not touch the envelope. She placed her hands flat on the table, like she needed to feel something solid. "James," she began. "Just tell me the truth," I said. "Please." She was silent for a long moment. Then she spoke. "Noel and I knew each other a long time ago," she said. "Before you and I met. We were together for almost 3 years. I said nothing. I waited. "We ended badly," she continued. "He hurt me very much. I left. I moved to this city. I started again. I met you. I thought that part of my life was finished." "But?" I said. She looked at the envelope. 4 months ago, he contacted me. He said he had found something that belonged to my father. I frowned. Clara's father had died 2 years ago. She'd been very close to him. "What do you mean?" I asked. Clara finally picked up the envelope. She opened it slowly. Inside was a letter. Handwritten. Old paper. She held it and looked at it, and her eyes immediately filled with tears. "It is a letter," she whispered. "From my father. He wrote it before he died. He gave it to Noel to keep. He did not want me to read it until I was ready." I did not understand. Why Noel? Why not give it to you directly? Clara closed her eyes. "Because my father knew I was not stable after we broke up. He was afraid the letter would make things harder. He trusted Noel to know when to give it to me." I sat there, trying to understand everything. The secret phone calls, the whispered conversations, the hidden meetings. It was not what I had feared. It was something I had never imagined at all. Clara read the letter slowly. I sat across from her and watched her face change as she read. Tears ran down her cheeks, but she did not make a sound. When she finished, she held the letter against her chest for a long moment. Then she looked at me. "He knew," she said softly. "He knew about everything, about how much I struggled after Noel, about how lost I was. And he wrote to tell me that he was proud of me, that I had found my way, that he loved the woman I had become." She passed the letter across the table to me. I read it carefully. It was a father's letter to his daughter. Simple words, honest words, written by a man who knew he did not have much time left and wanted to say what he felt before it was too late. One line stayed with me longer than the others. "The man you marry will be lucky, not because you were perfect, but because you never stopped trying to become better." I put the letter down. I looked at Clara. She was watching me, waiting. "Why didn't you tell me?" I asked. My voice was not angry. It was tired, honest. "Because I was ashamed," she said. "Ashamed that Noel was involved. Ashamed that my father trusted him and not me. Ashamed that I still carry so much from before." I understood that. I did not like it, but I understood it. "I am not angry about the letter," I said slowly. "I am not angry about your father. I am not even angry about Noel." I paused. "But I am hurt that you kept it from me, that you let me feel things I should never have had to feel." Clara looked down. "I know. I am sorry." The room was very quiet. Outside, the city continued. Cars, wind, the distant sound of someone's television. Life going on, not knowing what was happening in our small kitchen. The weeks after that conversation were the hardest of our marriage. We did not shout. We did not slam doors. That is not who we are. But something between us had cracked, and we both felt it. We were careful with each other in a way we had never been before. Careful like two people walking on thin ice, each step measured, each word chosen. I went through a period where I questioned everything. Not about Noel. I believed Clara about him. It was not a romantic secret. It was a grief she had been carrying alone. But I questioned the space she had kept from me, the part of herself she had decided I was not allowed to see. 6 years of marriage, and she had thought she needed to protect me from the truth of who she was before me? That hurt more than anything. One evening, about a month later, we sat together in the living room after dinner. It was a quiet evening. No film, no music, just the two of us and the sound of rain against the window. Clara spoke first. "I want to tell you something," she said. "Not to explain, just to say it." She looked at her hands. "I have spent my whole life feeling like I need to arrive somewhere completely fixed before I let people in, before I let anyone see the broken parts. I thought that was how you love someone. You show them the best version. You protect them from the rest." She looked at me. "But I think I was protecting myself, not you, and I am sorry for that." I sat with her words for a long moment. "I do not need you to be fixed," I said finally. "I never did. I just needed you to let me in." She nodded. Her eyes were wet. "We did not suddenly become fine. That is not how it works in real life. There were still quiet mornings where the distance felt wide, still evenings where conversation was slower than it used to be. Repair takes time. It is slow and imperfect, and sometimes it moves backwards before it moves forward. But we kept trying. That mattered." 6 months have passed since that November evening when I came home early with pasta and vegetables and heard my wife whisper words that changed everything. We are still together. We are working. Some days it is easy again, like it used to be. Other days, it still feels fragile. I think about the letter her father wrote, about the line that said she never stopped trying to become better. That is true of her. I see it now more than ever. She is trying, not just in our marriage, but in the way she speaks to me, the way she leaves her phone on the counter again, the way she says things out loud that she would have swallowed before. I am trying too. I am trying to understand that the people we love are not fully known to us. They carry things we cannot see, rooms inside themselves that we have not been invited into yet. That is not dishonesty. That is being human. But love, I think, is the slow work of opening those rooms, one by one, not all at once, not perfectly, but honestly. If you are in a relationship right now, I hope you remember this. Trust is not just about what someone does. It is also about what they tell you. Give the people you love the chance to know you, all of you, before it is too late. Before someone has to knock on a door with an envelope. Before silence becomes the language you speak at home. You deserve to be known, and so do they. If this story helped you learn English today, please like this video, subscribe to English Story Class, and share it with a friend who is also learning. New stories every week. Keep loving, keep learning, and keep speaking English. See you in the next one.